I see a lot of talk on vegetarian and vegan message boards on Facebook or even Instagram where people are asking if the vegan vegetarian lifestyle is affordable, and they claim it's not. And I thought I would address that because I'm able to afford being vegan because I watch what I buy. And just for information purposes, I am mainly vegan. I drink Calfia Farms oat milk creamer for my coffee. I use soy, organic soy milk. So those are my dairy products that I use. And I'm not big on sour cream, cottage cheese, all of those things I don't really aspire to eat, never really have. Yogurt, I was fine with getting rid of that. So those things. However, cheese is my weakness. Eggs, I'm okay with giving up as well, but my weakness is cheese. So this year, I am going to start diving into cheese alternatives when a recipe calls for cheese. So if you have any suggestions, please comment below and let me know what you like, and maybe I'll try those. But I'm able to afford being a vegan because I watch what I buy. So, as far as legumes, beans, lentils are a staple. I have jars labeled. I buy bags of the beans and lentils and put them in the jars so they stay fresher. So I buy those, and I also buy rice and oats. And when recipes call for veggies, I price comparison on both options as far as fresh or maybe even frozen or canned to see which is cheaper. The grocery store that I shop at has an app that I can put in various items and come up with the prices for those items at their store so I can choose what I'm going to buy. I also use an Instapot as well as a rice maker. Both of those items I realize can be expensive for some. However, you may want to ask for that for Christmas. My parents got me both of those for Christmas, so I put those to good use. I also bought myself a blender so I can make smoothies in the morning. So that is my staple in the morning is a smoothie with bananas, the Sun Warrior protein powder. As you'll see in my shorts, I do address various smoothies that I make in the morning. So that's with my small blender. If I'm making anything other than that and I need a bigger blender, I just bought a regular blender at the store. I can't afford Vitamix or any of those other very expensive processed blenders. I wish I could, but I make this lifestyle sustainable for myself. Also, I highly recommend using Pinterest. Pinterest became my best friend when I started the vegan lifestyle. What I did was I searched the word vegan and then whatever bean I wanted to use in a recipe. So let's say vegan kidney bean recipes, vegan black bean recipes, vegan brown lentil recipes. I'm not so much a fan of red lentils, and I just can't get past what they do in recipes and how much they break down. The brown lentils hold their shape, so it's better, and I prefer brown lentils. Some prefer the red lentils, so you may want to try both. But that's what I do with Pinterest is I find recipes based on what staples I have in my cabinet. Um, I do buy The only thing I buy that's processed, I should say, is Morningstar Griller veggie burgers. They are my weakness as far as anything processed is concerned. But I stay away from processed junk food. I find that some of them affect my stomach, and so I just don't feel well when I eat them. And I feel much better when I stick to legumes, rice, and veggies in recipes. So I do shy away from processed junk food. And in my opinion, anything like the fake chicken nuggets, the fake meats, and all of that stuff, that's great if you're transitioning, but that really should not be a staple in your diet. Um, Especially with children. You know, we need to provide nutrients to our children, uh, giving them a well balanced meal. In my opinion, going and getting fake chicken nuggets is no different than going to get chicken nuggets at McDonald's. And that's just my thought process. Great transitional items, but get your kids to eat the stuff you cook, and they will learn to eat what you cook. So, the second thing is if you happen to be low income and you're receiving food stamps, couple tips I have: go to your local food pantry. Most of the food pantries hand out beans and rice as staples because they're whole fillers. You can build recipes based on what you receive, like I said, through Pinterest. So if you sit down with everything that you got from the food pantry, you can go through and decipher what you can cook with what you got and look up recipes on Pinterest for those items. I do tell the food pantry that I am not eating meat, so I tell them, please do not provide meat for me. You know, leave that for another family, give it to the family behind me, whatever suits them. Also, buy fresh produce. My bill really didn't increase when I went vegan. It was really no different than when I ate a standard American diet, if that's what you want to call it. The other thing that I would recommend, highly recommend, is seeking out community gardens in your town. Many towns have community gardens. Many towns have multiple community gardens depending on the size of your community. You may want to call your community office, your local city office, your township. You may want to call your chamber of commerce and find out if they know of any places that have community gardens. It's really a great thing if you are a family and you want to teach your children how to grow. It's a great thing to just get your hands in the soil and grow what you love to eat. It's very rewarding. So, what I would suggest is if you are going to do a community garden, some communities do charge for the plots because they need to supply water and other supplies for the community gardens. So that offsets the costs of those items and those supplies. And it really, it's not that difficult to be a part of a community garden. Uh, like I said, you grow what you eat. It takes about a half hour to plant your plot, depending on what size it is. Um, and it's probably 15 minutes to water as often as you need. In the cooler months, you may just need to water maybe every 3 days. And then when we hit our hot months, you may need to water 1 to 2 days, depending what the weather is and how much rain you've received. Keep in mind, plots are deep, roots run deep, so they really need to be watered well. Usually I water 30 seconds per plant to make sure that it's saturating into the root systems. So it doesn't take much time to tend to a community garden, as some people say they don't have the time or don't have the resources. Another option is to go to your local farmers markets. Farmers markets have a plethora of vegetables, especially during season when vegetables are grown. If you live in a warmer climate where you do not get winter months of snow, you may have fresh produce year round depending on what is available at that time. So, farmers markets also have an opportunity to use your food stamp card towards getting tokens and fake money. Those tokens and fake money can be used towards purchasing fresh produce as well as man-made items like breads and uh, cookies and bakery items, etc. So that's another opportunity to save money. If you don't have the opportunity to have a community garden, you can go to your local farmers markets. So I hope that helps a little bit. If you have any questions, comment down below. If you want to hear more about my community garden, please subscribe to my channel. Like this video so that I know you listen to it. And I will be chatting more about my community garden. As you can see in the picture, that was last year's garden. I am going to have 2 plots this year with about 6 different herbs, cucumbers, bell peppers, many different lettuces and kale, and cherry tomatoes. So I look forward to sharing that with you as the season moves forward to when we can start planting. Thank you for listening and have a blessed day.